Set during the Sierra Leone nationwide conflict in 1999, the film shows a nation destroyed by the battle between government officers and renegade powers. The film depicts a significant number of the barbarities of that conflict, including the revolutionaries' removal of individuals' hands to prevent them from casting a ballot in impending decisions. The film starts with the catch of Solomon Bandy Jimon Hunsu, a mend angler, by the Revolutionary United Front (RUF) rebels when they attack the little Sierra Leonean town of Shinj. Isolated from his family, Solomon is oppressed to work in the precious stone fields under the order of Commander Toxin, David Harewood, while his child Dia is recruited into the renegade powers, the programming in the end transforming him into a solidified executioner. The RUF utilize the jewels to subsidize their conflict exertion, frequently exchanging them straightforwardly for arms. While working in the rough precious stone fields as a constrained worker, Solomon tracks down an enormous jewel of uncommon pink shading. Minutes before government troops send off an assault, Skipper Toxin sees Solomon concealing the precious stone. Skipper Toxin is harmed in the assault before he can get the stone, and both he and Solomon are brought to jail in Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone. Danny Toxopholite, Leonardo DiCaprio, an old English ex-hired soldier from Rhodesia, presently Zimbabwe, exchanges arms for jewels with a rough authority. He is detained subsequent to being discovered carrying the jewels into adjoining Liberia, and the precious stones are seized. He had been shipping the jewels to a South African soldier of fortune named Colonel Coetzee, Arnold Vosloo, who was thusly utilized by South African Precious Stone Organization Chief Van de Kopp, Marius Weyer, and his representative Simmons, Michael Shue. Coetzee is Toxopholite's previous administrator in 32 Force, the most beautified unit of the South African Line War, comprised of Angolan and Rhodesian troopers and white South African officials. Bowman is frantic for a method for compensating Colonel Coetzee for the jewels taken from him when he was captured and tossed behind bars, in a similar jail as the angler. While in jail, he hears Commander Toxic Substance yelling to Solomon about the revelation of the huge jewel and chooses to chase down the stone. He sets up for Solomon's delivery from jail and offers to assist him with tracking down his family in return for the jewel. Bowman and Solomon track down their direction to Maddie Bowen, Jennifer Connelly, an American columnist, who assists Solomon with finding his loved ones. Bowen before long discovers that Bowman is utilizing Solomon to find his jewel and will ultimately take it for himself, to leave Africa for eternity. Bowen, a philanthropic, will not assist Bowman except if he would canning educate her regarding the jewel market to stop the progression of blood precious stones out of Africa, removing financing for nationwide conflict and finishing a mass insurgency. Bowman gives Bowen her desired data and gains admittance to utilize the press escort to make a trip to Kono to track down the precious stone. The escort is gone after in Bowman, Solomon and Bowen departure and track down their direction toward the South African hired soldier force under Colonel Coetzee. There they learn of the assault force planning to retake Sierra Leone, a reference to the genuine 1995 recruiting of South African security firm chief results by the temporary legislature of Sierra Leone. The two men leave the camp by walking while Bowen loads onto a plane completing outsiders of the contention zone. After a difficult short-term journey, the men arrive at the mining camp in a stream valley, still under rough control, where Solomon found and covered the huge jewel. Here, Solomon is agonizingly rejoined with his child Dia, who will not recognize him since he has been programmed by the revolutionaries. Solomon is likewise rejoined with Commander Toxin, who orders him to track down the jewel, yet the South African hired soldier force, additionally after the precious stone, dispatches the rough rebels in a huge airstrike which kills a significant number of the rough radicals and a portion of the excavators. Amidst the chaos, Solomon experiences brief craziness and kills toxic substance with a digging tool. Through an arrangement with Bowman, Colonel Coetzee powers Solomon to recover the stone. In a frantic fight, Toxopholite kills Coetzee and the other two troopers with him in the wake of understanding that they would have killed both Bowman and Solomon after finding the precious stone. Right now Dia holds Bowman and Solomon at gunpoint with a gun, however Solomon figures out how to persuade him to favor them. As Bowman upsets a body to take hardware, he understands he has been shot, however hushes up about this. Having organized ahead of time for a plane to get him, he radios to the pilot, Benjamin Capanet, Basil Wallace, who requests that Bowman dump Solomon and Dia. Gradually and horrendously the gathering advances from the valley towards an airstrip on a close-by edge. Bowman breakdowns, unfit to climb, and Solomon conveys him a little ways before Toxopholite has him put him down. He advises Solomon to bring Dia back home, realizing that he is kicking the bucket, and gives them the precious stone. Bowman holds off the fighters pursuing them while Solomon and Dia escape, and afterwards settles on a last telephone decision to Bowen, requesting that she help Solomon as a last blessing prior to glancing out over the delightful scene of Africa again and biting the dust calmly. With the assistance of Bowen, Solomon exchanges the precious stone to Simmons for a huge amount of cash and the reunification of his family, causing the trade of Solomon's significant other and youngsters to deplane from a Lear fly at a London air terminal. Bowen, who covertly photos the arrangement, later distributes a magazine piece uncovering the exchange struggle or blood precious stones. The film closes with Solomon grinning at the photo Maddie took of Bowman before, presently distributed in her magazine alongside the total story of their excursion, prior to tending to a gathering on blood precious stones in Kimberley, South Africa, portraying his encounters. This alludes to a real gathering that occurred in Kimberley in 2000 and prompted the Kimberley Cycle Certificate Plan, which looks to ensure the beginning of jewels to control the exchange struggle precious stones.